in here, feeling a little technologically challenged, but we're making it, we're doing it. I'm here with Enlightened World Network. We've got a very special evening tonight. We have a special show called Discovering Dragon Energy, and it is part of the new Energies of the New World series. I'm here tonight with several of my esteemed colleagues, Terry Angel, Carol Ann Cross, Anayah Joy Holilly, and Deb Goldberg. So pleased to be here with you all. This morning in meditation, I was shown our angelic gems. I don't know if you can see these there. And of course, it's a green screen, so you can't really see them very well. Archangel Raphael introduced these to us back in December, and each of them that he's infused with energy serves to clear and heal and transmute and transform. And they're really magical. They do it in different colors on the inside. They are all green on the outside, but different colors that relate to different things on the inside. And this morning in meditation, I was visited by Archangel Jophiel and Sandalphon. So that's unusual because I don't normally work with those archangels. And of course, Archangel Michael was there, and they asked for Earth Day, would I please do a gem healing or gem, a gift of a gem for the world. So I created that on one of the Facebook posts, and it's green on the inside. And green is the energy of nature, and every plant, every animal, and some of those things we can't see that I've learned are what's called elementals. And some of those might look like ice fairies or water divas. They all have different little names, wood nymphs. They're all very specific in energy and what they represent themselves as. So we know that this series, Energies of the New World, is discovering and learning about some of these energies that for some of us, it's very new. Some of us, Carol, I think, Anayah, it's as old as they are. They've known it their entire lives. So today's is a very special one, learning about dragons. But Terry's going to start us off with an introduction to the whole concept.
Thank you, Ruth. And hello, everyone. And hello, ladies. So Dr. Ruth Anderson calls me and she's like, can you explain this thing about the elementals and elemental energy? And of course, I said I would love to. So I have been in touch with the elementals my whole life. I've been in touch with angels. I have physically seen them. I have physically seen the fairies, which my friend tells me really don't like to be called that. They like to be called the little people. And she's very in touch with them. So the elementals correspond with our elements. There's the element of earth, wind, fire, and water. So as Ruth was mentioning, some of those exist in those elements, like the water divas, the fairies, I'm going to call them that. The fairies are with the earth. So they govern the area right underneath our Earth's surface. They're always there, and they show themselves when we're open to it, as do all of these elementals, whether it be a dragon that's with the fire energy, or it's a water diva. I experienced a water diva right after I came up to this area I'm in right now. So that was about a month ago. I was outside and I actually physically saw, and so did my friend Gerald Ann. We saw the water diva there on the water. I have seen the fairies that come in my house, and I used to have cats up until last year, and they would play with them. So they are real, they exist. And when we open our minds and say there are unlimited possibilities, that's all it takes. Having that childlike wonder. And when we experience something like that and we start to explore, what is that? Just ask that question. What are you? And how can I relate to you? How can I know more about you? I have never studied any of the elementals. I have just experienced them. But what I've been shown by the angels, by my spirit guides, is that they are guides for us. And just as some people really are knowledgeable about dragons, and we're going to hear that tonight from Anayah and Carol, I'm very experienced with the fairies and with the water divas and those that are really, it's a light, flighty type of energy, but they're here to help us to lighten up to whatever it is that we need. They can encourage us, they can help us along our path. And as we connect with those fairies, especially, we dig more into the earth's energy, and they will help us to understand the earth energy. They will guide us and lead us into that deeper connection. That's what all of these do. They connect, help our connection with whatever energy they are related to. So if you're working with dragons, you're going to go more into the energy of fire. And fire is a very transformative energy. So if you're working with dragon energy, it's going to help you transform and transmute. If you're working with the earth energy, it's going to be more of the grounding that you need in your life. So any of these that come to you, there's nothing to be afraid of. Look at it with that the eyes of a child and say, what are you? I want to understand you, instead of saying right off the bat, oh, that doesn't exist, that's not real. Let's go into that childlike wonder and really explore these elementals and get to know them better. That's how I got to know them. And then I realized other people were seeing them too. It wasn't just me. And they were giving messages, and they do. They'll give you messages when you sit and talk with them. And I want to hear what messages they have brought to both Anayah and Carol, because I feel like they've really been speaking to both of you.
Mhm.
Well, and I have to be honest, up until a year and a half ago or so, I would have thought y'all were crazy. I had heard people talk about, seeing fairies and that kind of thing. And I thought, okay, that's too woo for me. I seriously, I can't go there. And I had been called literally by Archangel Michael to stay in a particular rental home. We had a 4-day weekend in California, and he showed me which rental house to rent. So I did. And it was on the beach. And when the family went to sleep that night, I closed my eyes, and immediately my energy was pulled out onto the beach. And I saw these very long, about 4 feet tall, 4 feet tall, very thin reed-like energies. And they were dancing, they were swaying. And I said, what's that? And I heard water divas. And I said, oh, like fairies? Water divas. They were very clear. Not fairies, water divas.
Right.
And we were there 4 nights. And every time I closed my eyes, I saw me out there dancing, trying to keep up with these reeds. And they were moving so fast. Mm-hmm. And they were having a blast. I could hear like primal drumbeat almost. It was such an amazing, energetic experience. And that same weekend, we went to an old forest, and it was shut down. We couldn't go in, and I closed my eyes and I witnessed wood nymphs, little tiny, little frenetic energy, male, whereas the water divas really felt female, but these wood nymphs were male. So I started experiencing these things, and I went, okay, I owe an apology to everybody I thought was nuts for seeing these things, because I'm seeing them now myself. So part of what I'm wanting to do here is to help normalize some of these experiences. So people like Deb, like I was, that are coming into it going, I don't know, guys, this is so far out there, I can't even grasp it, could maybe get a hint of what it is. And so I've asked Carol and Anayah to take us there. Don't just tell us about it. Take us there, show us, so we can experience it with you, to help normalize it for all of us. So that's why we're here tonight.
Yeah, and can I just add?
Very exciting.
Sorry, Carol.
No, you're right, Mary.
When I would see the fairies and all the other elementals, they're very fast. Their energy is like lightning. They just really move at a fast pace. If you look out of your peripheral vision, that's how you see energy. That's how you see auras. That's how you see the the movements that we don't normally catch if we're just focused straight ahead. Out of the peripheral vision, you will catch a glimpse of those fairies, of the dragons, of all of the elementals. So it's a matter of relaxing that the vision that you have as you're looking with your physical eyes and just letting it happen out there to the side of you.
Yeah.
And trusting your spiritual sight.
Mm-hmm.
It's really trusting what we see through our third eye, isn't it, as well? Because this is a very important sight for us, and we're being reawakened to trust it. Whereas in the past, for a long time, if I can't see it, it's not true. And that's with our physical eyes. And that is a very limiting way to view the world once you begin to realize how expansive everything is and how really gracious these energies are for us.
And that's the way that I feel about it. It's the energies. Go on, Ruth.
Can you guys talk about just like, what are some of the different kinds? I've seen ice fairies. I know some people talk about unicorns. Is that in this same realm?
Yeah, it's in the same realm. And the unicorns also, they work with the archangels as well. And the unicorns are bringing a beautiful white light energy. The dragons are helping to clear and to protect and to nurture us. And the unicorns, I don't know a lot about unicorns, but the unicorns are bringing in a white light that's going to brighten things in a spiritual sense and help us to see things more clearly as we go further into our ascension. I've always known I had a dragon, but I didn't really meet my dragon. And I'd love us this morning or tonight, your time, do a meditation so everyone can meet their own dragon. I did a course in October 2017 with the beautiful Diana Cooper. And that was where I met my dragon. And I just was so intrigued by it all. They love the planet. They're here to help us. And one interesting fact that we can put into a spiritual sense is at 11:11 a.m. on the 21st of December 2012, portals opened in Lemuria, Andorra and Honolulu, and they were dragon portals. And the dragons came out by the thousands to help us to get through this time we're going through and to help us get through to the golden age in 2032. And that's why the dragons are so prominent now. And once you start to realize and connect with your own dragon, they're just here to help us so much. They're here to clear away the negative energies. And you know, when I talked to Ruth a few nights ago, or whenever I talked about the dragons, doing something with the dragons, when the suggestion was first made up about talking with the dragons, I went to bed that night and immediately I was on the back of my dragon and we were flying over the mountains, down the hills, and we were with all the fire dragons and burning away the dross and the negativity. And Kuan Yin has pink dragons that are here for compassion, healing, and love. And behind us were coming Kuan Yin's pink dragons, soothing, healing, replenishing all of where the dross and the negativity had been burnt away. And so the dragons are here to help us. They love us. They're just like the angels, and they can be teeny tiny or they can be big. But when it comes time for us to, mine is just like a little alpaca, that size. And when it's time for us to go flying through the night, she becomes larger. Her name is Dusty, and she's an air dragon, and she's blue. And so I can climb on her back and we can just fly through. And, you know, if we have time, we can do another meditation like that. But sort of it's just how you want today to go. But, you know, they love the planets, and they have names just like the angels do. And they're just so loving and caring. They're just beautiful.
And we each have our own dragon?
We each have our own dragon. Would you like to do the meditation now so you can meet your dragon?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So this is a meditation from the wonderful Diana Cooper. This is the lady that I learnt about dragons from, and I have dragon cards. And she is just amazing. She also works with the unicorns as well. So just take a couple of deep breaths and close your eyes and relax. And let go of any preconceptions that you may have about the dragon kingdom. Just let that go. Just breathe. And I want you to send out a thought and ask your dragon to come to you. You might be aware of the sound of footsteps, or you may just feel the air just rush a little as they move towards you. Your dragon may be huge, or it may be tiny. It's coming towards you now. It has a huge heart. Its heart is shining and it is open to you. You might hear a breath of fire, or you may see a flash. And now your dragon is beside you. Is it earth, air, fire, or water? Or perhaps it's a combination. What color is it? Reach out your hand and stroke your dragon. What does its skin feel like? You might be surprised. Let the dragon sit beside you and feel its energy. Does it feel familiar? What is your dragon's name? Your dragon has infinite wisdom. Take a moment and tell it anything that you wish to, and ask for its loving perspective on what you tell it. Just listen to its words. Your dragon is always willing to help you and will be with you. It will guard and protect you. You may find that it wants to drape itself around your shoulders. You may find it wants to sit with you. Perhaps when you're sitting on the sofa, it wants to sit with you. Now that you have made the connection, your dragon will be with you all the time. It will be clearing your pathway and helping you. So as an exercise, talk to your dragon once or twice a day. Make an effort to pause. Call your dragon and talk to it. Tell it what you want. Ask ask for guidance and start to form a real relationship with this wonderful companion and friend. Thank it for coming to meet you. It has been waiting. So when you're ready, just open your eyes and take a deep breath.
So I have to ask, Deb, did you notice anything?
I did.
What did you notice?
It was very interesting. I had a silver dragon show up, and it was almost metal, like it was looked like metal, and I assume it's fire because there was purple flames coming out of its mouth. And but then it put its head on my lap, and it was almost like it was more like a horse head almost. It was kind of weird how it kind of morphed, and it was, you know, and its skin was more like, it was white. It was like a white head of a horse in it. And so I petted it and it felt more like a horse, even though I was seeing it as metallic. And he said his name is Harry. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
And it's important to really go with what you get. Like, you might not have been expecting it to look like a horse, and yet you went with that. And that is so important for this process, Deb. So that's beautiful.
So I did experience something too, and I know our dear Terry has to leave us in a couple minutes. So Terry, whenever you have to leave, you just step on out. Sweet thing. We love you. So glad you were here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I experienced, I could feel something next to me. And so I put my hand out and I reached, and it was kind of a little like alligatory kind of skin texture. And it was funny because you said something about height, and then it was about this high, and I said, ah, darn, that's really small. And then it got like huge. Okay, fine. And then it started nuzzling me like under my chin, and I heard, I know you like dogs. And I said, I do like dogs. And then it said, but I don't like Maddie, who is one of my dogs. And I said, do you like Jack? Yes. Do you like Jetty? Yes. It was like, but I don't like Maddie. And then at one point I felt its like tail around my shoulder, and I did muscle testing, and I said, have I met you before? And it was like, yes. And I know one night I had a dream with a dragon in it. And I said, were you in that dream? And it was yes. And I asked if it had seen Deb's dragon, and it said yes. And so yeah, that was very cool for me to be able to experience it to that point. I did ask, there was one night that Maddie was sound asleep, and all of a sudden she like whoop and like moved really quick. And I said, was that you? Did you do that to Maddie? And it was like, yes. And I said, yep. You have to stop that. So yeah, so okay. So now Deb and I, the doubters in the group, have now experienced our first dragons.
Yay.
Excellent.
Very
And you did
wonderful.
too, Terry. You did too, Terry.
Yeah, I think I froze for just a minute there. I am going to have to leave soon, but I just wanted to share that was the first time I'd gotten my dragon's name. And actually there were two, and that was probably why it never came through clearly before. And I felt like there were twin energies. There was a red one and a pink one, and they were so connected. They were like moving in unison with each other. And they told me their names, and it sounds like twins. They were Herbert and Helena. And I'm like, well, now I know what to call you. I've always just like seen the motion and seen them zip by. I thought it was just one, but it was very clear that there were two of them. And I love the energy that's coming from them. It was like very masculine and very feminine. So I wasn't sure what was going on at first. And then it was like, oh yeah, there you are.
Yeah.
I love the clarity. And I want to thank you, Carol, for that meditation. That was really, really clarifying, to be able to go in and feel and touch and hear them, and asking what we need at this point. What do I need in my life? What do you can I just sit with your energy and have you explain some things to me, because I have a lot of questions about life. And they're like, absolutely. So thank you. I'm loving it. And
that's great.
have a beautiful rest of the show. I'm sorry I have to bug out early, but I will catch the replay of the ending of it for sure.
Well, thank you for being here.
Love you, Terry.
Love you, Terry.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
So my dragon's name was Arthur.
Arthur, right.
So it was a male.
Can't question the name.
No.
So my dragon is Estelle, and I've met Estelle before. And the thing with our dragons is that we think we've just met them, but they've been with us forever.
Yeah, that's
right. It's just that where the dimensions are working right now and the level of our consciousness on the planet, it's really allowing us to make those connections consciously, which we've always had. So when I met Estelle, it was really hilarious because she came in like a cartoon kind of dragon, and she had button earrings, big white button earrings, and carries a handbag, right? And she has been showing me, she turned up for my playful nature. I have a very playful nature. So Estelle has turned up to help me really celebrate and embrace my playful nature, because part of me has always felt, and I guess I was taught, stop being so stupid. You have to be serious, right? So she's helping me to really embrace my playful nature and accept that part of me without those labels. And then this morning when I was in meditation with Estelle, it was kind of surprising because she burst through this dimension. I was doing a meditation with Diana Cooper, and she burst through this dimensional field, but she was enormous and kind of stood like this, really strong and surprising, and her colors were completely different and her face was so different. And I said, well, what's your name? And they said, my name is Morcon, right? I said, but you can't be, because my dragon is Estelle. And they said, I am coming to you as another aspect. We're looking behind Estelle, as you have many aspects to your energy, your personality, your experience, your life, your lessons. We have aspects too. And I'm here to help you stand in the strength of your truth. This is a very important time for you, and it is too. And he's here to help me leave behind the fear that I am just not going to measure up to this particular project. It's been almost 20 years in the making. And I didn't realize how scared I was that I wasn't up to the task, and somehow I was just going to mess it up.
Wow.
And I know it's such an important project. So it's really fantastic, isn't it? To begin to realize the level of support we have for everything, every single thing, every part of us, every fear, every hope, every joy, every dream. We have beautiful support from all these amazing dimensions, dragons being one of them.
Yeah.
That's cool. Summer Sparks said she got a lovely red dragon. She takes Summer around the world, such a beautiful and amazing protector. And Catherine Kovacs got a red dragon, huge, and his name is Hugh.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's really great. Really great. Well, the archangels also all have their own dragons. So Archangel Michael's, this is his, the deep blue dragon. This is Archangel Michael's dragon. I can send you a photograph of it, Ruth, if you like. So Archangel Michael has a deep blue dragon. Jophiel has the crystal yellow dragons. Metatron has the golden orange dragons. Gabriel has the white crystal dragons, and Raphael obviously has the emerald green dragons. His is very obvious, just like I think that Michael's is blue. So yeah, because yesterday Anayah and I pulled some dragon cards, because there's a beautiful pack of dragon cards that I have, and that one came out, and he was telling us that we could go send the blue dragon down under our homes to clear the ley lines of any negativity that may be in the ley lines. That we can do that, send them underneath the schools, the children's schools, and at the shopping centres to get rid of all the negativity, and that they can spread a kilometre-wide protective area around us as we walk. But it's like the angels, we've got to ask them. We can't just expect them to know what we want. We have to talk to them, and we have to ask them about what we want them to do. And I had a real confirmation of my dragon, Dusty, when in 2017, we came to Canada for a white Christmas, because we don't have white Christmases in Australia, and I'd never had one. And so we came to Canada, and driving on the roads when you're not used to it could be a little bit scary. We're up in Banff. And so every day before we went out in the car, I always asked the angels to go with me and protect us, etc. But I asked Dusty, my dragon, to sit on the roof of the car and to clear the road in front of us. Every day she did that. And every day we had no problems. We could see cars that had gone off the road and lots of things like that, but we had no problems because I just asked her to clear the road for us. So they can be used in practical ways, as long as it's for the highest good. Just like the angels, it has to be for the highest good. You can't use them in any kind of negative sense. So, yeah, so there's just the four elements: the earth, the water, the air, and fire for the dragon's energies. So yeah.
And now dragons can have several energies, can't they,
Yes,
Caroline?
they can be a combination. Yeah.
That's exactly right. And I've seen that with my own experience, that these different elements that are coming through are to support me in the different elements that I have and that I naturally work with. I naturally work with air and naturally work with water. They're helping me also really, and I really love nature, as you know, Caroline. That's a massive love for me, but they're helping me get out of my water and air a bit more and ground a bit more into nature. This morning when I was connecting with this beautiful air dragon, puffing this amazing energy in through my third eye, I was so ungrounded and I felt dizzy and lightheaded, and I couldn't seem to, and it took me a minute to realize what was happening. I just needed to call on the element of earth for one of the aspects of my dragon, and then go outside into nature. And it was amazing, that sense, deep rooted connectedness and a sense of this generous kind of loving power from nature really embraced me in a deeply gorgeous way. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
And then of course I was grounded, and I wasn't so in the air element because I'm so comfortable there.
We all are.
Yeah, we all are.
If I could just quickly share this one thing, because it keeps coming to mind. I was sitting out the front yard. This was a lot of years ago, and I was sitting at the front yard, and I was going through quite a lot of health challenges at that time. And I had a comfy chair, and I used to sit out in that chair all day long in nature. I just knew that's where I had to stay. And one time, I was out there for a week solid. I came in for all the things I needed to come inside for and sleep, but the rest of the time I was outside. And one of the trees, it was just so amazing. I was just drawn to look at this tree, and this face and shoulders leant out of the tree, turned and looked at me, made a beautiful connection, slowly turned his head back and went back into the tree and disappeared into the bark. It was amazing. It was truly transformational.
Wow. So Summer was just sharing, she's never asked her dragon for help. So that's an interesting concept, that you can sit in meditation and talk to your dragon. She said she gets travel sick. And once her dragon took her on a ride so high in the sky, she had to ask her to take her back to the ground because she was feeling sick. And she could stop her meditation.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing when we make the connection.
And it's that communication, isn't it? See, you being travel sick, it's that opportunity to communicate, to say, can you just take me in a way that I don't feel that motion sickness anymore? It's very smooth. And hopefully when we visit with the Sleepy Time Dragon toward the end of the show, that is going to help you to feel that gliding sensation that you can receive.
So Carol, you've got another meditation, and then Anayah, you've got a Sleepy Time one. So let's get on with this.
All right. So just close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Call your dragon beside you, and ask your dragon if you can climb up on its back. And you'll be amazed that the dragon just changes its size to fit with you, so that you can sit on its back. And we're going to fly to the Honolulu portal, the dragon portal. We're going to fly to the dragon portal. And it's beautiful up here in the clouds as you go past the clouds. You just come through the wispiness of the clouds and the blue sky. And it just feels so peaceful as the air rushes past you. And as we get closer to the portal, you can hear the cacophony of sounds, the cries of happiness, the excitement, because the fire dragons are getting ready to fly with you, to burn off the dross, the negativity, the fear that is within our planet and surrounding our planet at this time. And also across to the side, you can see Kuan Yin's beautiful pink dragons, the pink dragons that are going to follow behind, and they're going to bring healing and love and compassion to the areas after we go through. So we meet up with the fire dragons, and they're all excited and ready to go, and they want you to know at any time you can do this activity, and they will fly with you and your dragon. So we take off, and you can go, tell them to go to wherever it is you want them to fly. I love flying down through the valleys and up over the mountains and clearing any negativity from cities, from the countryside, from the rivers. Clear away that dross and negativity, burn that away, transmute it. We don't need it anymore. Transmute and burn away the fear. It's beautiful to see it being burnt and just going up into the ethers where it can be turned into positive energy. We're flying down, and you just turn your head slightly and see the beautiful pink dragons of Kuan Yin coming along behind you. And as they send their love and compassion and healing down, the people who are standing down on the ground, they can feel the love that is coming from the pink dragons, replacing the fear and the negativity. And you know that this is part of your role with your dragon at this time, to come in and get rid of that fear and dross and negativity and replace it with love, compassion, and healing. So soon we know it's time for us to come back to our starting point. But the fire dragons have told us that they will continue on. This is a part of their job at this time. And Kuan Yin's pink dragons will work in conjunction with them. They work as a beautiful team together, bringing love and healing to the planet. So gently find your way back to where you began this journey. Thank the fire dragons. Thank Kuan Yin's pink loving dragons. Come back into the room to where you were seated on the chair. And as you hop off your dragon's back, just give it a hug. Love you. Gently take a seat. Take a deep breath. Job well done. And open your eyes.
Very cool. Okay, Deb, you know I'm going to call on you. What did you experience, my friend?
Well, I followed along with that beautiful meditation. Thank you, Carolyn. It was just such a beautiful sight to see. And it was interesting when I got on Harry, all of a sudden this big black chair appeared. So I had like a back and arms and I had this cushy chair on top of his back. So we were flying. He's got yellow eyes too. They're like yellow with something in the middle. And so it was very beautiful to go along the countryside and be spreading love. It seems so much similar to what we do in our meditations, Ruth, with the angels.
Yep.
It's just like dragons instead of the angels, which I guess I look at it as the same thing. It's just another form.
Yep.
It's just another form of love. And then we came back and it was the white horse again with its head in my lap. And I was petting it and thanking it for helping and doing something beautiful and loving. So yeah, that was my experience.
Thank you.
So with mine, as soon as you said to climb on, Arthur got very large.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at me and I'm standing on it. I'm standing on it like reins in one hand, like a shield in the other. And I'm larger than life. And I'm in my warrior garb and I'm going, I've done this before.
Yes, you have.
And I looked over to this side and Deb is wearing the same thing. She's larger than life. And it's like, and Terry's over here. Then I started seeing things from our silent meditations. The crystalline grid being brought around the planet. Mm-hmm. And I was seeing the dragons at the healing pool, like them, like rolling and having a great time. And I thought, I know this energy, and I've experienced it with you all, but it's like the veil just got lifted.
Yeah.
So
it's
cool.
Wonderful.
Thank you. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It shows your connection's always been there. It's just that recognition that it when the time is right, when the time comes and it presents itself in this way. So for everyone watching, see how you're feeling about all of this. It may happen for you now. It might have already happened. It may be coming shortly. But just trust how it turns up, like you did with standing up with your shield and your warrior. I love that so much because it shows how much you trusted what you got.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Trust me.
Curious as to why Harry changes from a dragon to a horse.
Perhaps he thinks you're more comfortable with a horse's head on your lap than a dragon's head on your lap. That you feel more at peace with that. Then he changes back into being the dragon at the other times. So have you always been around horses? Do you like horses?
When I was younger, Yes,
Mm.
when I was
Yeah,
younger,
so-
I was allowed
yeah.
to ride horses.
Yeah, I'd say that's what it is.
Deb, with one of my meditations this morning with the Earth Dragon, it came to me as a Komodo dragon, which was kind of really strange because they're kind of really scary and toxic, but yet what was happening with this Earth Dragon, it was showing me that everything is perception. So when it was time to reach out and just touch this dragon, it was so beautiful. And so that opened me up, and I'm sharing this with you because, you know, you're having a similar thing with something you didn't expect,
Mhm.
that there's such a beautiful divine reason behind all of these things. Once we trust it, it begins to unfold for us, doesn't it? And so it'd be really interesting to see what happens for you in your dreams and things that come into your mind over the next days and weeks, how this continues to grow for you, this relationship, because it's a relationship. It's not a one-time thing. So it's going to be really exciting to hear how you're going.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is right, because it was so metallic that it would be like I'm touching metal, like it didn't. But when you just said that and told me about that, I saw myself touching the metal and it turned to water. It was like water. It wasn't metal anymore.
This is it, and this is why, you know, when we say to touch them, and it won't feel like you're expecting it to feel.
Yeah, it was like touching water.
I thought it's going to be hard and it's going to be brittle and it's going to be dry, but it's not. It's soft. It was just like beautiful soft leather. It's what is on my dragon. It's just lovely and soft. So that's why. Yeah. I think it's very exciting.
It's wonderful and great to see how we're all having these very different experiences in some ways. And I'm hoping that's demonstrating to everyone watching that, you know, your experience is yours. It doesn't have to be like anybody else's. Just go with it. Like when Morcon came in, I was kind of shocked. But once I asked, well, hang on, how can this be, as Carol Ann said, ask the questions, how can you possibly be a Stell? And it was a really great unfolding, and that's the invitation. It's a doorway that opens for us, isn't it, guys? That it's not just like a peripheral experience. It's something that it's celestial in nature. It's divine in nature, just like we are. And we're learning not to separate the energies quite so much in our perceptions.
My first perception before we get started in the when Carol did the first meditation, what came to my mind was that Disney character Figment, who's a purple dragon.
All right, yeah.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah.
Purple dragon. Yeah, it was funny. That's where my mind went to first. It was really interesting that's where I could relate to or, you know, then rather than relate to like a dragon that was really difficult to.
Yeah, big, scary and blowing fire. Yeah, and that's
and dangerous. No.
We have preconceived ideas of what a dragon is going to be. And that's why we have to let go of those preconceived. But at least that helped you to sort of step into that place rather than just having a scary thought. You could relate it to something before we started. So that was good.
And I think mine knew not to come looking like a cartoon My Little Pony character. It wasn't going to work.
It wasn't going to work, no. Oh, dear.
Well, I'm sorry. Summer was asking about spirit animals, and we're going to do some other shows on spirit animals, but I also want to do another show on like dragon follow-up, because I want to learn more about it and explore more about it and see what all you all have learned about it. So I would like to give at least one more dragon show on the table before we move on to another thing.
That's great.
Yeah, that's true.
And it'll give everyone, sorry, Caroline.
No, you're right. Yeah.
And it'll
you're
give,
right.
thank you, darling. It'll give everyone who's watching and now and who will watch this before then have their experiences and maybe then come back and be able to share what's unfolded for them as well, which would be really cool. Be lovely to hear how you're all going with it.
Yes, yes, it would.
And how you
It's
feel.
I think it's just so exciting today that you know, we've been able to come on and you've met your dragons, and I'm just so excited about that. It's really great, really great.
Well, I do have a question. Summer said that she's seen a crocodile in a vision. Is a crocodile a form of a dragon, or is it like different?
It may just be an aspect of, like when the Komodo dragon came in for me, it may be an aspect that is working its way to the surface. How do you feel about crocodiles? You know, what's your experience? You have fears, etc. Sometimes they can turn up in ways that bring that fear to the surface so that we can invite them in to help us heal that. And the change can happen very quickly. It might take longer. Caroline?
It could be just like your horse's head, Deb. You know, it's something that Summer can relate to, because crocodiles are absolutely ancient, aren't they? Let's be honest. So, you know, it could be something along those lines. So, yeah, I haven't heard of the crocodiles. I've heard them lots of other things, but, you know, and also it could be a crocodile energy that's coming to Summer. So, you know, we can't just say, oh, no, that was your dragon in another way, because it could be another energy, because all of these energies are starting to come to the fore now. And because we're ready to take notice of them, we're ready to realize and accept that they're there, that they all have a part to play. And this is one of the wonderful things of the new energies that are coming to life. It's just so exciting. It's, yeah, it's just, we're only limited by our imagination, and I've got a really great imagination.
Well, we're enjoying it today. So, Anayah, do you want to introduce us to the sleepy time dragon, and then we'll say goodnight to our friends for now?
Thank you, Ruth. So just recently, I was speaking with Carol Ann about some sleep, disturbed sleep, and etc. that she was experiencing. And as we were speaking, Carol Ann, wasn't it beautiful? This sleepy time dragon came in. It was, you know, you feel, if you close your eyes and think about a cloud, you know, like a cartoon cloud, that really wispy, gorgeous feeling. That was the type of feeling. And so I'm going to share with you now what the sleepy time dragon showed me. There's a lot of disturbed sleep on the planet, especially right now, because there's a lot of fear and anxiety happening. A lot of people are listening to a lot of news broadcasts, etc., and going to bed feeling very, very anxious. So the sleepy time dragon is here to support us to have a much more comfortable sleep and to begin to let go and get back into the wonder of the magnificence of life, of us, and how well we are truly looked after and protected and loved. So if you'd like to take a breath and just let yourself feel what that breath feels like in your body. Just feel wherever you're sitting or lying, how your body's feeling to you right now. And if you're getting ready to go to sleep soon, begin to just see all those thoughts as bubbles, and they're popping, 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 leaving your consciousness, leaving your subconscious, allowing you to come to a sense of rest and peace. And we call in the sleepy time dragon, this beautiful being of divinity, of love and grace and tenderness and comfort. And sleepy time dragon comes to you now, and just notice how you feel. How you feel with the gentleness of this sleepy time dragon. Just take a moment just to reach out And just touch this beautiful dragon. Just feel the tenderness and the calm. The Sleepy Time Dragon invites you to climb up on its back, between its shoulder blades, where you find a beautiful feathery nest that is the exact right shape and the exact right size for you. And the wings that were teeny tiny begin to grow in magnificence and strength. And gently, gently, you begin to move with Sleepy Time Dragon, and you're all huddled and curled up in this beautiful nest that feels so safe and so tender. And allow yourself to glide, because you may not even feel a sense of movement. It's so gentle. Glide with your Sleepy Time Dragon, and now takes you on a gorgeous journey into sleep, into rest, into calm, into release. Sleepy Time Dragon maneuvers you through the clouds and up through the stars, up and up and up, as you transcend the earth energies. You might even like to look down and just peek and see the earth below you. And there it is. It goes on, it's twinkling, and you notice a rainbow energy that is circling the entire planet. And within this rainbow energy, you become aware of hundreds and thousands of angels singing songs of love to each one of us here on earth. Sleepy Time Dragon takes you higher and higher into your celestial home. And once you feel what it's like to be home, you simply close your eyes and you fall into the deepest, gentlest, most joyful rest and sleep you've ever known. And you can stay there all night long until it's time to wake with the dawn. Each and every single night. You know how to get there now, and you know that Sleepy Time Dragon is always available, always willing and ready to take you to the land of sleep in your celestial home. We thank Sleepy Time Dragon. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this beautiful journey. The gratitude in your heart begins to blossom and flow, creating rivers that run throughout your veins, into each and every cell, every hair follicle, your eyelashes, your fingertips, your smile, your eyes. And you can rest there as long as you'd like to. If you're ready to come back, Sleepy Time Dragon will know automatically. You don't even have to murmur a word. And back you come, through the softest ethers. Back you come, down through the rainbow energy where all the angels are still singing. Back into Earth's atmosphere. Back into your home, to where you're sitting, to where you're lying. And begin to feel planted again, refreshed, ready to come back and be with us again. Just breathing in and breathing out. Put your hand on your heart and give thanks. And feel the love that you are. When you're ready, just open your eyes. And welcome back.
That was really special.
That was so beautiful.
It was
First
beautiful.
time. Oh, I just want to say thank you to that beautiful, loving energy, because I've never done that before. So that was a gift for me too.
It was beautiful. Thank you.
Absolutely. You ladies are awesome. What a treat this has been.
Mhm.
For us as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're doing this again, folks. We're going to learn a little more next time, and we're going to explore a little more next time. Awesome. Carol and Anayah, this is
Sorry, I just got a message for Summer while we were doing that meditation. And the message is to connect in with the ancient wisdom of Crocodile. They're wanting her to connect. Sorry. Okay.
No, that's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Summer. I hope that you're still watching. Great. All right. We are going to say our good nights. What a fun first show of this series. Love it. I love it. All right. So Carol and Anayah, Deb, thank you so much for being here. Terry, we love you. And to all of our friends listening, just stay with us on Enlightened World Network. It's amazing the things that are coming out now, and we're having a great time. So hope you're learning and loving it with us. So much love to all of you. Take good care of yourselves, and God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.